Strange times ahead. Strange times ahead, people. So I'm going through a funny patch. I'm making videos and I'm just deleting them. And I'm thinking there's no point in saying anything anymore. Because it's only words. What do words mean? I listen to a lot of people speaking words, and I've been listening and reading people's words for the past 14 years. And granted, I feel as if I've learned a thing or two, but all the things that I have learned wouldn't have meant anything unless I had a relevant experience to go alongside what I've read. Now, for instance, let's just say, look, my videos are like personal development and spirituality and psychology, philosophy, and those sort of things. And so, of course, I read those sort of things. And then when I have supernatural, spiritual experiences, it's kind of handy and interesting if somebody else has had those experiences or something similar. And for instance, when we listen to people who have taken DMT, and albeit their story is completely wacky and very different from what we've had ourselves, there are similes, and the similes are that it's crazy, it's just bizarre and amazing, and you're just dumbfounded. The first time I took DMT, I've not got over how dumbfounding that was, where my consciousness left this world and went into another world, really, which seems, when you're there, more real and purposeful than this one. What do you do from that point forward, people? That's the thing, you see. And so since then, since having, let's say, absolute minimum 200, more like 300 psychedelic experiences of all these different varieties of worlds, well, I don't know what to make of anything anymore. And that, coupled with my psychoanalysis and self-study and philosophy and just general study of the world, what it is to be a human being, and all of this confusing stuff, it really just doesn't seem to mean anything. And there's so many people with their own experiences and own hypotheses and ways in which they look at the world. It's just subjective. That's the thing about it. Some of us, I've listened to many very, very bizarre experiences with psychedelics and deep meditation experiences, supernatural, paranormal, near-death experiences, all these sort of things. And they say, I went to hell, it's a real place, I went to heaven, God's real, I saw Jesus. And I'm sure if we were listening to Middle Eastern YouTube, if they have it, that comes out of Iran or Iraq or Syria, these sort of places, I think it's mostly banned, and you can never get away with making videos which contest their state religion. But if you could, and you listened to people who believed in Allah, and they said, I met Allah and it's real, I went to paradise, what do we make of all these people when we've got people so absolutely vehemently sure and assertive that Jesus is real, and God's real, and Allah's real, and any number of other things. When people all over the world have got opposing experiences and beliefs and assertions. And, in recent times when I've been banging on about Christianity, and then I get the Bible thumpers, telling me repent and the Lord's coming. I'm like, come on, people. Do you not think that there's equal amount of fanatics? There are, right? 9/11 and all this so-called terrorism stuff, which, by the way, miraculously has disappeared in recent times. Just another creation, just another propaganda invention. But anyway, there are going to be millions and millions of people that have near-death experiences or supernatural experiences in relation to Allah, Buddha, Krishna, and the other 4,000 religions. And so it would just stand to reason, wasn't it, that we're all having a subjective experience of the world, and there is in actual fact no physical world out here. And more people, I'm telling you now, people, for those of you that don't know, for those of you that only have half an hour, to watch a little small YouTube video a day or something like that, the world is coming very, very rapidly to a place which is going to be unrecognisable. It's going to be so massively confusing and transforming. It has to happen because we've got all of these things going on. The world dominators are trying to do this, and then people are kicking back, and then the world's waking up, and they're trying to do this and they're trying to do that. And over this last couple of days, I've been privy to that the powers that be are starting another pandemic now. It's the bird flu pandemic. Bill Gates has already got billions of vaccines ready to go, miraculously. They're building this vaccine factory in Canada, which is the biggest the world has ever seen, because of course they're going to be creating all this stuff. They're going to be increasing the terrorism and it's the problem reaction solution thing, and the vast majority of people are going to be buying into it again, and the powers that be are going to be getting some sort of a result. They're going to be getting the diminished world population. They're going to be getting a great level of subservience and obedience, but also what they're going to be getting is a giant revolt. They're going to be getting a massive revolt all over the world in probably almost every country. And I've become privy to things like this happening already in America, for instance. People are kicking back. They're kicking back big time, and they're kicking back with force. It's a beautiful thing, and we could say, about time, but things do take time, because people, sensible people, they do have to collate information and data, because they're serious people, they're in serious businesses and institutions and organisations. Let's say the medical fraternity. The medical fraternity is kicking back now against the World Health Organization and against governments, against this whole you can change your sex when you're 12 years old, and you can take all these pills to kill whatever hormones you've got, and hormone replacements and all this sort of stuff that's resulting in millions of suicides with confused young kids. So the world's kicking back on things like this, from these nefarious evil machinations that is going on in the world. And some people, they really do believe that evil's got a grip on the world, and it is the devil or some sort of interdimensional beast and this, that and the other. And I don't doubt the interdimensional entities and, energies and all those sort of things. I've met them, I've been to places where they exist, and I listen to very, very learned people. I listen to scholars. I listen to people that have been in this business for many, many years of their lives, and they speak with the absolute utmost assurity that all these different varieties of entities do exist. They do manipulate mankind. They are working behind the scenes, manipulating the powers that be and all these different sorts of things. And more people are getting tuned into that. And, of course, there's been certain notions of these things in religions for a long time, i.e. you have the jinn in Islam, and then you have Satan in Christianity and Judaism, and lots of other evil, nefarious beings in other religions. And so they've been with us since we've been in existence. But more people, they are really coming out now. I mean, Tucker Carlson, with his massive media company, even he now, I don't know how many millions he's got, but I'm assuming it's like 10 or 20 million followers. But even he's saying now, there's something going on. It's of biblical magnitude. It's, very, very wicked and nefarious. And he never mentioned Satan or the devil or anything like that, but of course he's always mentioning that he is a devout Christian, and so we know what he's speaking about. And he says, I don't want to talk about it. And then people like David Icke are saying, well, listen, I've been telling you about this stuff for years. I've been telling you there's a heaven hand. There's these archons, these invisible entities, which have been working through, humans for thousands of years, and they feed off their energy, and they offer them power and wealth and everything that they want. And of course, what do they want? They want kids to sex and kids to drink the blood of, and all these sort of things. I don't doubt that either, people, because the statistics tell us that there's millions of children going missing every single year, and it is a massive business. And only in recent times, with the Epstein saga, then we had a little bit of a peep into it. It's big business, and so there is all this stuff going on. And with the advent of the internet now, the world cannot do anything save wake up. And so we're heading for a showdown. There's going to be a showdown with these world global leaders, with the likes of Gates, who always miraculously have just got the exact vaccine that the world needs on a shelf whenever the pandemic comes about. And already they're spreading the fear porn. There's one man that's died down in Mexico of this flu thing, and it's all over the news, and of course all over CNN. Well, we've got to test. And then you've got people like Deborah Burke saying every single beast should get tested once a week in America. How do you do this? How do you take a blood test with every single beast in America? And then they're saying, well, we need to vaccinate all these chickens and all these beasts. Yeah, sure they do. And then when humans eat the vaccinated creatures, then we get sick, and then all of a sudden they've got another anecdote, haven't they? An antidote. And all these machinations, it just gets tiresome. It just wears you out, it really does. With all this stuff which is coming to a head, and is AI gonna kill us? Is the apocalypse coming? Is World War III happening? Is a new virus coming? Is that meteorite coming back round again? What about Nibiru? Is that coming to gobble us all up, or smash into us, or turn us on our axis? Oh dear. And there's a lot to be said just for being a humble farmer. Just planting your food, tending your livestock, and getting up at dawn and going to bed at dusk. There really is a lot to be said for that. But I'm going to be speaking about something else just when I come out of the supermarket. Because I'm at a crossroads in my life, people, and I just don't know what I'm going to do.